Hello again. I'm going to tell you an intriguing story about an African boy who was born in Rhodesia, which is now Zimbabwe, back in 1937, on a farm that his poor father had purchased through what was called the Land Apportionment Act, which allowed Africans to purchase land in areas designated for Africans by the Rhodesian government. He walked to school barefoot every day, but because he was a smart boy, his father sent him to a reputable high school near Salisbury, now Harare, where clever black kids were sent for high school. His school shoes would be his first pair of shoes he ever owned. The boy graduated from high school, went to the university on a scholarship, and then became a teacher. He later met a girl he would later call his wife. Their first child was a girl. 22 months later, another girl was born. The typical mumblings in the African village started. Too many girls. You need to have a boy now. You need an heir to take over the family name, etc. And this was back in the 60s. 5 years later, they were blessed with another baby girl. The mumblings became louder and turned into insults. But this man did not care. He loved his daughters, and he was determined to raise them as people and not as girls or boys. But one thing this man loved so much was world politics and current affairs. And he'd get his girls to sit with him while he listened to the BBC World News at 6 p.m. every night. He began to teach his little girls about great women world leaders at the time, and there were not many. But there were enough for him to nickname his daughters after them. "You are Miss Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India," he said to his eldest daughter. "And you are Miss Golda Meir, Prime Minister of Israel," he said to his second daughter. "And you are Miss Bandaranaike, Prime Minister of Ceylon," he said to his third daughter. As far back as the 60s, this man was teaching his daughters that women can lead the world just like men, and perhaps even better than men. He made his little girls believe that they too can lead and become champions of their own destiny, that they can achieve anything they wanted to achieve with the determination and resilience that these women leaders had. Now, 2 years after the third daughter was born, the man's wife gave birth to their fourth daughter. But it was too early to name her Miss Margaret Thatcher. Now, this great African man was my father, and I was Miss Golda Meir, the Prime Minister of Israel. I was lucky to have a father who did not see women as being different from men except physiologically. In my opinion, gender inequality does not only exist when men decide to treat women unequally, or when men decide that women should be paid less than men, or when ancient gender roles are applied, even in modern day. Gender inequality also occurs when women and also men do not oppose it, when men and women do not stop promoting ancient gender roles. If we help our children, both girls and boys, to understand from an early age that the human race for prosperity and existence begins at the same point for all genders, and no gender is better than the other, we will begin to close the gender gap that currently sits at 140 years in Africa, according to the 2019 McKinsey report on gender parity in Africa. This means it will take 140 years for women to be equal to men in Africa. Now, I have chosen the role in this quest to close the gender gap, and that role is to take my father's lessons and use them to help women understand and believe that they can gain confidence to become who they want to become the person they think they cannot become, and begin to look at their lifestyles, to look at the way they view themselves and the way they feel about themselves, and get out of the shackles of self-pity that manifest themselves in comfort eating and feelings of helplessness that prevent them from achieving the bodies and well-beings that they desire in order to gain self-confidence and to gain the power to break any barriers. I've also chosen the role of empowering men to believe that they can gain confidence and achieve their goals through a lifestyle change. If you feel great and confident with yourself in the body that allows you to follow your passion, you'll continue to live in a world where people see you not as a man, but as a worthy human being that is equal to any other gender. So, stay with me on this quest for a healthy lifestyle. Let's keep fit, let's eat healthy, and let's stay hydrated. Till the next episode, bye-bye. Bye.